Hello everyone, Australian Motorcycle News. My name is Peter Bom with an update from what happened today on the Saturday in Indonesia, Mandalika MotoGP. We had a sprint, we had a qualifying. The results of the sprint, probably you've seen them. The least surprised should be that Marco Bezzecchi was winning the sprint race. He was very, very fast yesterday. He was on pole position further earlier today in the qualifying. He was about to lose it actually by making a shit start, but he's so much faster than everybody else that he came back from 6th to 1st with only 4 or 5 corners to go. So poor Fermin Aldeguer, for me, the surprise of the weekend basically. Surprise number one is how much faster Marco Bezzecchi and Aprilia are, but surprise number two has to be how a rookie from only 20 years old can do such a stable performance in qualifying on the front row and nearly winning the sprint race. I mean, the guy is doing everything correctly. He has a really, really good team around him as well, which helps him a lot. Talking points from this day is, for me, first of all, Pecco Bagnaia. Dead last in the sprint. Yeah, I don't have it here, but he's not just last, he's last by a mile. That's the same guy that was on pole last week, won the sprint, won the main race, and all because he went back to his 2024 Ducati finally. And now we're coming 1 week later to a very, very different track than Motegi, and nothing happens. From the first laps he did on the track, he's just too slow. So unbelievable, unexplainable, must be something between the ears with all the stress that he has with Ducati that didn't want him to be on that bike and didn't want him to say it, then denying it, and somebody else is saying it. Chaos, marketing and PR-wise around Ducatis, and Pecco is just way too slow. The other talking point of yesterday and today especially is also Marc Marquez. 2 crashes yesterday, the second one was a biggie, and all the time he looks tense on the bike, makes lots of mistakes and is lap by lap just too slow. In the end, he finishes in the sprint 6th, but let's be honest, he qualified in 9th, went just from Q1 to Q2. No, this is not the Marc Marquez that became world champion last week. This is a Marc that is on a track that he hates, that doesn't suit him, and he's not fully recovered from becoming the world champion. And then suddenly you see that you don't need a lot of things going wrong, and suddenly you're not longer there, but immediately here. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to see as well. But for me, the other thing is Pedro Acosta didn't finish it, but he put the bike on the second row with the KTM, was in 2nd place in the race until he lost the front in turn number 1. Big respect for how he rides the KTM, that's a bike that's not on the pace. Acosta is so much better than all the other KTM riders. He is for KTM what Fabio Quartararo is on the Yamaha, just making the bike look better than it actually is. What I wanted to do, I wanted to give a couple of awards in this little update. And the first award goes to the winner. I mean, the award for the winner must be for Aprilia as a whole and for Marco Bezzecchi. Yesterday, 4 tenths faster than everybody else. In qualifying today, 4 tenths faster in MotoGP. That's a long time ago somebody was able to do that. Fucked up the start, back to 6th, but still wins the race. It's very interesting to see, also from a technical point of view, how much better that Aprilia works over this racetrack. It's unbelievable. Not easy, but better and faster bike than everybody else has. So when there is a winner, there is also a loser. The award for the loser for me goes to Ducati, especially today. If Pecco Bagnaia is ending up there, then, you know, how did you treat your rider? And all the confusion they are creating now by denying it's a 24 or a 25 or a 24.5. Chaos around in the Ducati box at the moment. So yeah, these are the losers from today. Surprise of today is of course Fermin Aldeguer. Like I said, a rookie, 20 years old, nearly winning the race by just doing everything perfect. But Fermin Aldeguer, I have to give credit to his team as well, and probably most to Frankie Carcetti, his crew chief, because when he has very, very stable situation in the box, which helps a young rider a lot. And the proof of the pudding there was for me, like in qualifying, he crashed. He didn't crash, he didn't went out in qualifying because suddenly there was a problem with the bike. They had to swap the wheels to the other bike. Now, usually in MotoGP, when the riders have to swap in or just before qualifying to the other bike, The bike is never the same, so there is a poor performance. And yeah, I was so unlucky because my second bike is not the same. He went on the second bike and immediately put it on the front row. So that team was able to really put the two bikes really literally the same and kept him calm. So yeah, credits to the team as well. Surprise of the day, Fermin Aldeguer, second bike ready. There's also an up and down award from me, and that goes to Marquez because he finished 6th, but he started in P9, went quickly to 7. I have to check my notes here. But on the way to going from 9 to 7, he bumped Alex Rins from the track, so he had to do a long lap penalty back to 13, and then went back to 6. I mean, on the grid he was, on the track he was 7, but I think it was Luca Marini had an illegal front tire pressure, so was taken out of the result. So in the end, Marc Marquez from 9 to 7 to 13 to finally 6. That's the up and down award for me. Australian Moto3 rider Joel Kelso did really, really good on the front row again. I mean, the guy is clever. I followed him closely yesterday and today again in the qualifying, and he has a good speed, but he's also very clever in where to put himself in a group, especially on a track like this where without being in the group you don't make the lap time. But being in the group also means if you're behind the wrong guy, he's holding you up. He's quite clever in finding his position, when to be at what position in the group. Let's just hope he's just as clever tomorrow in the race and can do that extra click and win the race. Jacob Rulstone was yesterday not fast enough to go to Q2, our Moto3 rider, but he went from Q1 to Q2, but today he finished in the qualifying on P13, so it didn't really go as much as he wanted it. But the worst Aussie today must have been Senna Ages in Moto2. He found a lot, he said, from yesterday to today, but he couldn't materialize it. He found in the free practice we see more speed from him, but in qualifying 1, where he wanted really to go to qualifying 2, he didn't, just simply said he didn't put it together. When he was fast, there was a yellow flag. When he had the free track, he made a mistake. So he's sure he found something, but he couldn't prove it. So difficult situation for Senna Ages at the moment. And yeah, the other Aussie on the MotoGP, Jack Miller, qualified 14, sprint he became 12. That's not a really good result. That makes him the last Yamaha rider. He had a mechanical problem, very strange. You know, at the start, the MotoGP riders, they lock the front, really more or less in the bottom of the stroke from the front fork. They drop the rear ride height. When they accelerate to turn 1, they need to make at least one really aggressive brake maneuver to open these locking mechanisms and makes the bike free and normal in its suspension again. For some reason that didn't work with Jack. He tried it in turn 1, he tried it in turn 3. He said that he tried it in 2 or 3 times. Every time you have to brake hard to unlock all the locking systems, but then he lost positions and it didn't unlock. And when it finally unlocked, he was just too far in the back. I mean, difficult weekend for Jack as well. But tomorrow, I'm interested to see what happens tomorrow in the race. I think we're gonna get a little bit of a different result because everybody will probably go to the harder rear tire, but I've seen some really fast lap times in the end on the soft rear tire. So there will also be people thinking, I can use the soft rear tire for the main race as well. And hopefully that will spice up things a little bit. If not, Marco Bezzecchi will win again. But yeah, if he keeps on doing a shit start like he did today in the sprint, it can be entertaining. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it and I'll be back tomorrow with you. Thanks for watching.